name is Narakula Isiton. And welcome to February Love Stories. And here we talk about the love journey of couples, how they met, where they met, how it's been on the journey, on the road for them, being married, being in love, and all of the good, the bad, and that other side that people rarely talk about. So we're going to be talking about it here today. And I'm so excited because I have two people here that are going to do justice to everything I'm talking about. So I don't want to talk too much. They don't like me talking too much. So I have Tunmise Oladapo Kuku. She's a mental health advocate. She's a podcaster. She's a life coach. She's an author. She's, oh my goodness, everything. And so, welcome. And I have a husband here too, man. Very amiable gentleman. Bunmi Kuku. He's an IT consultant. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome. Welcome to both of you. Yeah. So before we delve into the couple things, we're going to be talking individually first. So for people who don't know you, you get what I mean. Like, what would you describe yourself as?
I'm Tunmise Oladapo Kuku. I'm the lead partner at Black Images Media Concept, and I help people rewrite their story.
Wow, that's fantastic. I need to help me rewrite my story. Before the end of today, I want to have a new story. This story, I'm tired of it. That's so beautiful. How do you do that?
Okay, so through coaching programs and having conversations. So I know that the coaching space in the world of just Nigeria is a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
And I understand how people find that, a little bit, the resistance that comes with it. I understand that perfectly. But I also know that when you know your story, when you understand your story, basically you'll find, like Simon Sinek says, you'll be able to then navigate your reality. Sitting with your story is hard work, but it's good work to do.
Yeah. I think I'm going to like that. Writing your story, sitting with your story.
Yeah, it's just helping you. So with the conversations I have with you as my coaches, I don't like to use the word client, but as my coaches, I'm a partner with you. And with these programs, what we do is just help you identify the stories, different kinds of stories that you're using to navigate your life presently. Are the limiting beliefs? Are the things that you should do? Are the things you should strengthen? Yeah, and basically.
So, but you're supposed to be a therapist, even if you don't like using that word. I know.
Okay, yeah. So the reason I cannot call myself a therapist yet is because I'm still in training. Yes, but what I do is basically like that. Yes, I have I have a diploma in counseling, but that is just me until I have my certificate.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So let's go to BKK. Like, I'm gonna call him on this program. Okay. So Bunmi Kuku, we say we are an IT consultant. Do you want to give us more details on that? That's all. So what do you do as an IT consultant?
More than words, right? I write a story.
Oh my God! From the point of view.
The story writing. I'm using that word to say that you just have a problem. This can see how best you can use IT to resolve it.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's very, very good. We're writing stories, husband and wife, from different angles. I like that. So first, let me ask you the first question that we always ask here. Firstly, how long have you guys are married, of course, we know. Oh, yeah. How long have you been married?
Me? Oh,
anyone?
We're married for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been on for 22 years, 3 months.
Oh my goodness, how many weeks, how many days, how many hours? That's so good. That's over a century. So you guys,
century babu. It's not centuries.
Oh, okay, it's 2 decades. Over 2 decades. Sorry.
I'm not
You called the phone ring. I'm so sorry. That's over 2 decades.
Yes,
Oh,
two
okay.
decades,
So meaning that we have a lot to talk about today. There's so much meat in 22 years of knowing somebody, you know. So let's start first. How did you guys meet? Let me ask Nikki first. I want to hear it first.
Okay, so how did we meet? We hi from afar.
Okay. Afar in where?
Okay, we were in the same school, same fellowship. So I went to
High school, college, university.
University.
Okay.
I went to
It's
university.
okay.
So we're same university.
Mhm.
In the same university, we attended the same Christian fellowship.
Okay.
So it's always the hi. Then we happen to be in the same, let me say, service group.
Okay.
So there was hi. I know her, she knows me. But then our first main encounter was we were in fellowship and she wasn't feeling too good.
Okay.
And should I say the leader of the units felt maybe punishment or something. I just felt, yeah, guy, walk this lady out to her room. And we got talking. It was a long walk.
Okay.
And nice conversation. It was just long walk. It was just there. I don't think we said anything meaningful, right? But it was
like a lot of lovers do eventually when they become
I
lovers.
can't remember any of the conversation. It was a good walk, and that's the noticeable first, right?
First contact.
Yeah.
First full contact.
Full contact. Okay, so what was your impression of her at that time?
One, tomboy, obviously.
Okay. Obviously. Okay.
Second was she had a way of doing her things.
She did what?
She has a way of doing her things.
Okay.
So it doesn't understand. Third was I couldn't place her in the box. I said you needed to understand that. So over time I got to understand why.
Why she couldn't be put in a box.
That was it.
She's
Yeah,
boxed.
that was it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing. So, what's your own version, Tunmise, of meeting him? Like, what did you think of him at that first full contact? Like,
He was a black boy.
I can't watch.
And he would sit he would when during rehearsals he would sit at the back.
Okay.
And nobody would see me. You could only identify Bunmi Kuku by his teeth.
Oh my goodness.
It was a very small place, and I was just recovering from a heartbreak, my first Christian heartbreak,
Wow.
and only bless God.
Hallelujah.
My only Christian heartbreak, and like you said, Sonny, what's his Sonny again? Ubo, yeah, Sonny Ubo said, hey, and it was a sort of punishment because he was hiding and said, okay, work hard. She's not feeling. I was not feeling too good, and again, I've always been a conversation person.
Okay.
So he was asking me what happened in that relationship and what do I think I did wrongly, or and then we just had a conversation. And I admit that it's easy for me to, bring somebody over with conversations, and I guess that's what happened. And I really sort of and of course, yeah, that was the first encounter, and then we became friends, like really, really good friends, really good friends. I think he might not agree to it, but I think that telling him that story that night, and a couple of stories that night, he probably unconsciously set himself as my Superman.
How
Yes.
so?
Because he became protective.
Oh.
He would come to the hostel to see me. He became quite protective, and then when a guy asked me out and I didn't like the guy, call him, and then him and I would pretend to be dating. Yeah. So he became. So we just yeah, we were real friends, and then he also, and because I could do that, he also I was also his alarm, like I was his love messenger, love messenger to a particular lady. Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah.
So he was sending you to the lady that he liked at the time
Yeah.
to deliver message or
Yeah.
messages
Yeah.
to the lady. Oh, okay. So at what point did you guys start dating? At what point? Like when did the friendship evolve into dating?
Okay, there's no clear answer to that. Okay, so my third year, your final year. Yeah. My third year, I stayed in town, so he helped clean. I got an apartment. He helped clean the apartment. His final year, he was staying in quarters. He's a quarters boy. For those who wait to Ife, you understand that. He's a quarters boy, so I helped him. So he said, "Oh, after service, then you can come help." And sincerely, it was just that we were just going to. I was just going to clean his apartment. After cleaning, he cooked, and which is still cooked till today. Every September the 23rd, he cooks that concoction. Yeah, he's a romantic. He cooked concoction rice, and it was Leah had just passed, so there was a Leah meat, and
Leah me.
yeah, and after eating, we just sitting down playing music, and I think we were playing Phil Collins's "Find a Way to My Heart." Yeah,
The entire album.
the entire album, and then he reached out to his and then
No. I can't just gloss over that. He reached out to do what?
kiss me. I said that's what I said.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, but you really said it
yeah,
like
and I was like,
oh,
and,
romantic brother.
and then he said the words that have kept me for the last 22 years.
Okay.
I'm not promising I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not promising that I'm not going to cause you pain. What I'm promising is I will make this work.
Wow! And you remember word for word.
Yeah,
22 years after.
Yes, because that again we had shared stories. We had shared stories, so he knew I was coming from a place of a lot of pain, So even after he said that, I ran away for about a week or two. I came to Lagos and all that, but that for me was heavy. It was heavy, and it 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 had those words. Those words have I believe kept us together because anytime anything happens, I remember, oh, so my tell he told you, and that was honest. That was vulnerable. That was, and yeah.
Wow. So, wow. My head is still reeling. I promise. I don't promise I'm not going to hurt you. I don't
not promise.
Bro, say it for us now.
You
When you want to say it.
I'm not promising I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not promising I'm not going to cause you pain. What I'm promising is I'm going to make this work.
This work. Wow, that's deep. So what was in your mind? Do you remember?
Yes.
When you said that.
Okay, for me, like she said, we've shared some stories, right? And yeah, we were already getting used to each other at that point in time, as in someone I could talk to easily. I guess I was always someone you could talk to easily at that point in time. So I just felt, you know what, shoot your shot, try it out, let her know.
But so
did you shoot your shot with those words that or you meant them?
No, I meant them.
And he's broken them.
I meant them.
Akika.
I meant them because the thing, like I said, we're both coming from different sides of pain. We had different versions of relationships. We had different expectations of relationships, and yeah.
So both of you have mentioned something together now. A lot of pain.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pain. You know,
Pains are amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
So, as I know there are some things we cannot share for the whole world. Do you understand? But the ones that you're comfortable sharing, what sort of pain did you come from that made those words mean that deep to you?
Okay, so dysfunction is a very relative word, and maybe subjective is a word I'm looking for.
Okay.
So I come from a relatively dysfunctional home. It's the home, like my brothers and I would say, is the home. The home I grew up in. We learned how to love and how not to love. Um, for me, there was a lot of verbal abuse, sexual abuse. Um, so early on in life, I had learned to shut down. I had learned to be my own person. Hence, what everybody saw, she can't be put in a box. She's unconventional because that was the way I could navigate life. So when he said, because I was also just coming out from a relationship, and he also knew about an 8-year relationship I had been in that just ended in a very dramatic way.
8 years.
Yes.
In
In a very dramatic way. So I guess he spoke as a friend. And that mattered to me. I needed a friend in my life. And, coming from a place where you were not heard, you were seen. And even when you were seen, you were asked to hide. And, I was so used to being by myself. I was so used to navigating life, and it was probably one of the challenges that we had because it's not about being independent. It was just I was just so used to being me with me. I was my best friend. So him offering that with those words and not sugarcoating that. I'm going to, you're going to be, your sugar is here.
the cockroach in the cupboard.
So him being forthright with, hey, this thing though is possible that we hurt each other. This thing though is possible, but and that just connected with my own person, and So the of course, most of the pain and most of the things that we've navigated through as a couple is mostly around the sexual predator, predator in my life, and also some parental neglect, and also yeah.
So how did that? I know you just mentioned it briefly, but let me just ask it on a deeper. So how did that dysfunction, that sexual abuse, neglect, how did it affect? How did it show up in your marriage or relationship?
In my relationship, yeah, it did show up because again, like I said, I'm extremely. I still am on some level. He still says, it's going on 22 years now, and I still can't ask my husband for something. Like sometimes there were times when he would push like until you ask to buy it to buy him. He won't just take,
What do you mean something?
Anything, money. It was really, again, there was no positive reinforcement in my life. There was no, my mother and I eventually had a very healed relationship before she died. But prior to that, it was really crazy. So it was but then the flip of this is I love people. I love people. I was the welfare secretary for our team for 3-4 years consecutively. Everybody's birthday in my head, everything, the whole of the team, I love people, and I think that came from a place of, look, I know it came from a place of nobody should go through this amount of pain I'm going through in my head. So yeah, I wanted to serve, I wanted to love people, but to allow people to love me was very difficult because it felt like dump me anyway. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships and all that. So if you look through my history, I probably had one friend, two friends with every phase of my life. I was the person I will know my shifts. So if there's a friend I've had longer than, it's him.
It's him. Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's so. Oh my goodness. Oh, see the eye contact. You want to kiss? It's allowed. It's okay. Yeah. So BKK, I'm gonna ask you. She's told us her own version of pain. So what where are you coming from? What kind of pain were you coming from? And I. Okay, so, I don't see you rolling your eyes like
like I said, pain is relative.
Yes.
Right. I grew up in university environment. You see different things in different places. I came up from a family that I felt were chumi.
Where what?
Chumi. My parents were close. Very, very close. Everybody was close. And you just find something happens and you just wonder, were these the same people that were very, very close? All of a sudden, couldn't talk to each other for a while. Other people started. So that for me was why. So it also made me not say the words most people will say when you want to ask somebody out, because, and well, we had that issue for a while where, yes, now I'm saying I love you a lot, but there was a time I couldn't say it.
So it's a horrible story, Jana.
Oh.
I will help this government.
Okay, thank
you. So again, he comes from, and they're still lovable. My parents-in-law are the best gifts to me.
Wow.
Yeah, my mother-in-law is my best friend. You know that. One of my best friends. So he comes from a home, the origin story, so much love, so much. I remember when we started dating that I heard stories in Ife saying that the Kukus were the lovebirds of Ife.
Wow.
So, and that helped me to understand why he struggled with PDA, for example. We are back to that now, but I was a PDA person who, there was a time he couldn't even hold my hand. Oh my God, there was a time he could not even hold my hands in public. And we're still in school. In my head, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing that I know?
But the thing was that school period was when the whole thing was
happening. And so it was a major shift for him. It was a major shift for him coming. It happened so suddenly. It was so sudden, and that's how they became friends. That's how it went. That's why we said earlier that he was the first to bleed. That's how it became friends. He could not wrap his head around the sudden change, the shift that came, with his parents' relationship at the time. And made him like, it's just that I hear my own,
You are playing.
Seriously, my parents were monogamous till they died, but sometimes I used to wish just have a second wife. Let's know that this craziness is, However, so those were the things that shaped us, But I must say that Bunmi has run the relationship from when it healed with that original story of love in.
Okay, so that original story, the beginning of his life
Yes.
that he had.
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
Yes.
So when did you decide this is going to be my person for the rest of my life?
This is good what?
This is going to be my person for the rest of my life. When did you decide that?
When I said those words,
So you never said those words. Echo Wale, you were pack load and enter. Or what happened? I asked when he shifted from friendship to relationship.
Okay.
So when did he shift to I'm going to marry this girl?
Okay,
So just ashamed of yourself.
And let them be ashamed. Okay.
so like I said, it was more of funny enough. Well, if she remembers, an uncle of mine was getting married. And he married in December. So obviously she came. She came around and was actually there at the engagement. That's where I told you. So the thing is this. So
Well, those were different versions.
So
I'm
in
listening to-
Makodi, let me just take a step back. In Makodi,
So what happened in Makodi? How did you
she
guys
served
get
in
to
Ma- she served in
Okay,
Makodi.
served.
She served in
NYSC.
Makodi. I was working in Lagos, so which was funny. Don't worry, I know did it. Which was funny. I decided to surprise her.
Okay.
First time I was traveling to the north.
Okay.
I just asked from guys, how do you get to Makodi? Right? Take night bus.
Well,
To
that's
me.
what we think.
Yeah. So I took a night bus. I didn't tell her.
Wow.
I got to Abuja. From Abuja, I now took another one coming to Makodi, the longest route. She's always going and she's taking the shorter, faster route, but because I didn't want her to know.
No, okay.
So I took the longer route. I got to, I think I was at the park. It was when I now called you that I was at Benue Links Park, that she should come, and she was, what, da. So yeah, after I think I was out there, I just told her, look, I think I just... I'm not saying good words.
Okay, so that's what he
So
remembered.
that's when I said, look, we're just going to get married.
No, I know what you said.
Okay.
What you said was after I made the bar. I don't know how to make a bar, by the way.
Eh?
Yes, you heard me. I don't know how to make a bar. I can punch.
So what do you know how to make?
Every other thing.
Apart from a bar.
She can eat every other thing apart from eba.
I have to be dying to eat a bar, like really sick.
Okay.
And he will be the one. Anyway, I made a bar.
Why did you make Eba since you don't like it?
Because he came.
And he likes Eba.
And he loves Eba.
Okay.
So the shock of, so I made Eba, and then we had some arguments. Remember, a friend, yeah. Was not arguments? I was debating, and actually, so the debate we're having was about. Okay, I can say what the debate was. I don't have to say the people's name. The debate was about a couple. Like, okay, so I use is it when a person has already introduced you to their family and you have picked a date and you break up, is that not skinny up? Saying that, well, trying to marry, and he was going on and on like, please, and in my head I was like, thank you. In my head I'm like, yeah, Kukuma said so that there's no. Let me remove my mind. There's no. Let me remove my mind here. I know that. I get back to Lagos. I start looking, and then we sleep. And then the next morning he goes. He goes. Okay, so service is finishing in September. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So we see Daddy. Wait, after we see Daddy for what? You know, we see Daddy. And when we see Daddy, we get married in December. I don't understand. So what's the plan? 1 year. He gave it to you. We finished service in September. We saw Popsy in December, and so we had said September, and then my daddy said no, you have to go in December. So the spirits, God, my father, everybody was shy with him because he's such a romantic. He wanted everything December, Christmas, and all of that. So his birthday is in December.
Oh.
So he wanted that.
December.
So no, that's what she did.
So you are trying to say to me that he didn't propose like, sweetie, with ring in hand, can I? Why are you yimoing? Like,
no hesitant. But he had given me a promise ring.
Okay.
He had given me a promise
what
ring.
did that mean when you did that?
To me, it just meant it was you. So which, for me, didn't necessitate all the. It just made everything.
Oh, guy, you're giving me a proposal. So.
Maybe he's gonna do it here. Who knows?
Except sometimes happens.
But for me, it was more of I'd made up my mind. Right, I decided we talked about a couple of things, and I'll keep saying this. One of our strengths is we said everything. Well, maybe not everything at day one, but we were open enough to talk. So I kind of had an idea of who she was, where she's coming from. She had an idea of who I was, where we're coming from. We could early on decide, how do you want to? Do you want to? If anything close to what you heard comes up, can you? Right? Yeah, because something like that happened and we just had to.
You're wrong.
I was trying. I knew it was good, but I know why he
I like this balance, man. He's a real IT consultant, you know.
So I know why he's the one to say that. So something that happened, and between some people very close with him, and then I didn't have a phone, like I said. So I had gone to call him on that Christmas morning. And like, to say, I went to a phone center today. I have and then go check your mail. I sent you a mail, and guys, you know. And in the mail, we went on, and in my head, I'm like, guy, I'm a broadcaster. You could hear anything about me at any time. At least hear my side. Whatever is okay. If that's how if this is where it's going to.
So somebody had said he had heard something about you that he was mad about.
Yeah.
So you guys are trying not to.
Yes, because it's close people.
To home, okay.
It's very close to home, and I had said that if you're not going, no, I'm not even going to go down this route if you're not going to at least hear my side, you know. And throughout that Christmas was probably the worst. This was 2002, Christmas. We didn't talk. Then I get back to school, and I did sort of like shifts, you know. But then we sat down, and that particular incident set the tone for how we deal with immediate and extended family, because it was an extended family issue.
Okay.
It set a tone. That sets a tone for it. And
so what sort of tone did it set?
Oh, a beautiful tone. Oh, but you want to answer that?
Like in the sense that, maybe they overstep, so henceforth we won't allow them overstep. I'm just trying to.
Just set the tone as in whatever happens, there's a different conversation. Well, there's a different stand we have to take.
Okay. That's so beautiful.
And there's one thing that and I think we still do it. Do we still? Don't ever go to bed. Matter when we're not talk before we sleep. No, but if you not talk, and it's okay. But if I greet you in the morning, you say you must answer me. You know, like if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But if you go to bed and we enter the next day, don't wake up and say, we had a fight, like it's never in my house.
So are you saying that we will not talk about it
anymore? We will talk about it.
Okay, but she's not going to.
No. There are days that we've had real serious arguments and all that. But the next morning, I will still get my good morning love text, and I'll still go. I don't reply with good morning love. I probably reply with a kiss or with a prayer or something. But
are you saying good morning love via phone? He sent it to you, even though both of you woke up together.
Yeah.
BKK. You need to teach my husband. You need to teach him. Are you serious? Like when you go to work, send her a good before he leaves the home.
As he wakes up.
Bro,
No, it's just.
are you going to have a course or master class or?
I'm learning myself. I'm learning and evolving. No, because for me it was more of we've gotten to the point where most people wake up. Either you want to do devotional, it's your phone. And while you're doing devotional, there's always the social media thing. So try and let the person know I'm waking up, and the first thing
he wakes up,
first person after God I'm talking to is you.
I look like, it's not having kids.
Wow, that's something to look forward to, and that has been consistent. Wow.
Even when he's angry.
Even when he's angry. Oh my goodness. That's so beautiful, guys. That's so nice. So now moving on. When you guys got into the marriage, you guys, did you guys have your kids immediately? I know you have kids.
Yes.
This is about to be interesting.
Yes, we did.
What happened?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We got married in December. We found out we were pregnant in April.
Oh, okay.
And it was the same day he got his job. So,
oh.
But that's not the fun part. The fun part was we fought.
What?
Like it was.
What was the cause of pregnancy?
No.
Okay. So you guys didn't know you were pregnant at the time.
No, I knew. He didn't know.
Okay. So what did your neighbor do?
So the neighbor had put their generator right in front of our house, and we wanted to come in, and I was like, "What the heck?" Again, don't forget the English. Am I getting me? Like,
I'm glad they shy.
She and then this human being had the temerity to push my husband.
Oh, the neighbor. Oh my goodness, maybe she slapped me. Let me try.
And I was like, no, I can't defend. No, I think for him it was like I can defend myself. But in my head, you touched my husband. Are you crazy? Like go to and she was like,
before then or what?
It's so funny. My family's everything. Even my parents, my brothers, like, well, you don't touch my husband.
Yeah, I
get
that.
Don't.
Me too. You're gonna die.
You don't touch my husband. And he was really, as you can see, he's a very cool guy. University expert at the ball, like he was just gonna walk. Like, why? Why are you gonna walk? Like, why? And he was like, something is wrong with it. If something was wrong, why did you slap you?
Okay, so you defended him. Then when you guys got inside, it was not like, why did you have to do that? Or
Everything was outside, and then he was talking. I just shoot him.
The what?
The result of the test. So that day,
like, every look at this my wife that I married.
Yes, yeah.
You gave him the result of the pregnancy outside during the.
No, when we got inside.
Okay, after the fight, and. What happened?
Oh, I just took it. Obviously, the reason why.
No, the reason that his pregnancy.
That was because number one, she knows that I take time. Well, I give people a long rope, right? But I also know when to draw the line.
Okay.
So even before I could, how do I put it?
Like even process
or respond, she already. So that was my only conclusion.
that it was
pregnancy. No, good thing that was the only time. But yeah, I just felt that I just took it like that's what it was. So we moved away from the first 5 minutes of why did you do that to okay, now we have somebody coming. And then
for the next 2 days, he was
structure.
And the next 2 days he was just like,
like what? What does that mean?
Don't calm down and all that. But ordinarily I'm calm, really. Ordinarily. But yeah, nobody touches my family. Nobody. And then
Wow, you said it like I'm even afraid.
nobody touches me. I'm sorry. Nobody touches my family. Nobody does. And we had a referral, and he wanted a girl first.
And you had a girl first.
I did. The child self was covering, and I was like,
you guys didn't know.
my husband was like, I'm having a girl. Like, and I think one of the things that's kept me. My husband's faith is like a child's. Oh my God. If I had that kind of faith, or more, if I don't build mansion, but he was like, stop checking this thing, it's a gift. And same thing when we had our son 4 years after. The child too was covering body, I said, don't worry, it's a boy.
Wow. And it happened that way. Bros, did they used to bring it to you in the middle of the night? Bunmi Kuku.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's always wanted a girl.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I should ask you. Why have you always wanted a girl?
I'm the first and I'm a guy, so I wanted something different.
Something different. Okay, so how did your past experiences, when you were growing up, all of the pain or the things, how did it affect your parenting?
Oh my. Do you want to?
Well, I'll just summarize it.
Okay. Because you're a man of few words.
So we just learned.
He's a man of plenty words.
No, we just learned that what you like, build upon it, right? What you don't like, change it. And what you felt you didn't even know, right? Try and learn it. So we do have an underground motto of in life: you learn, you will learn, and then you'll learn. You will learn, and you'll learn. Yeah. The order might not be that way, right? But there are times when you need to go through the three.
Oh. So what to say? F expand sheet.
Parenting is probably one of my reasons to get married. I wanted to show my parents how to raise children. Yeah. A lot of women say they don't enjoy, and I had PND, by the way. I had postnatal depression. And my postnatal depression it was not like I didn't want to see my child. I wanted to be with my child. Every other person go to heaven. I wanted to be my child. So when I started talking to my children, like we will still have conversations till date. When I'm breastfeeding, when I'm feeding, I'm having a conversation. I am having a conversation with my child. But that doesn't mean that I've not made mistakes.
Okay.
When my baby boy, JB, J-boy, whatever everybody calls it, it's no longer J-boy, BB anymore, it's not J-boy, yeah? When he was about 5, I beat him. I beat him. And it was writing, it was homework. It was homework, a quantitative analysis. I'm mathematically challenged. I'm dimensionally challenged. So in my head, why did you? I beat this boy. I beat him so much. I knew I beat him. It was so badly. I beat him so much. And about 30 minutes after I was in the room reading. Then he comes to me and says, "Mommy, your body's beating you a bit." I said, "Yeah." My body's beating me too. I said, "Okay, where is this conversation going?" He said, "I didn't know why you beat me. We could have talked." He's going to be 13 this year. That was the last time
you ever laid hands
on my children. There's another one with my daughter. She picked something in school. Rich girl came to show me that she picked it, and I went off on her. Hey, they're picking things in school. I went and I called all her uncles, that's my brothers. Hey, you see what your niece did. I called my mom, said I was going to drop them at my mom's place. I was going to see my mom. My mom just kept quiet. When we got to her house, she told my children to go in. And she looked me in the eye and said,
Meaning,
don't train a child the way I trained you.
That's deep. Wow.
She didn't have to say much. I understood exactly what she was saying. And then she went again. She went ahead to say, I lost a relationship with you in your teenage years. Don't do that. I say this to say that yes, we are very, very, very intentional. And you don't even want to sit with us when we're talking with our children. You think they're adults. But because the way I relate to my children is the way I wished I was related with. It doesn't mean that some of our friends think that our children are too adulty, and that's fine. It's okay. But it works for us. Yeah, they don't see the times when they are children, and they don't see the times when they're. My daughter is 16. My daughter can walk up to me and tell me she has a crush, and we talk about it. And I wish I had that kind of relationship. And so the kind of relationship I wish I had with my parents is what I'm gifting, and what we are gifting our children. And they're in boarding school for a reason, so that they know that there's a different part of life. Because the house can be very, and it's for my daughter. I think my daughter settled easily, but JB took time to settle.
In boarding school.
It took time to settle, but we were tempted to take him out, but we had to constantly tell him, hey guy, the world is not four of us. The world is bigger than four of us, okay? And of course we have the four-agreement mantra from Don Miguel Ruiz's book, to be impeccable with your words, do not take anything personally, do not make assumptions, always do your best. This is a mantra that runs up.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Be impeccable with your words, do not take anything personally, do not make assumptions, always do your best.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don Miguel Ruiz, the four agreements. You should read it.
Wow, I will. Thank you so much. So, wow, that's beautiful, because there's a lot of issue with parenting these days. You understand, like from I want to say our own generation, but I don't think I'm in the same generation as both of you. Sorry, you're so like from our own generation, the way our parents handled us was obey before complain, no conversation, hey, go do this, go sleep, go stand there. And now parents are trying to, with some parents that I've heard of, are trying to correct that. But there's also now this thing of extremism. What do you think about that? Did that happen to you guys at all?
Yes, there were. There were times that they were extreme. There were times when both of them, where they felt like whenever they go out, they must always get what they want. Right. There are times when they felt, yes, I want this and I'll get it. But like she said, one of the reasons why we had to take them to boarding school was just to, number one, be independent. Number two, mingle with people different from who you were, people from a different background, different ideologies, but we're very intentional with the values we're giving them. So that we know that, look, we equip them with, not just tell them these are the values, we equip them to be able to stand on their own values, and they understand why. Because one of the things that we found out also growing up is, your parents tell you to do something, you will always do it as long as your parents are there.
Yeah.
You don't understand why.
Why?
The moment your parents leave, it becomes something else.
Yeah.
Case in point, a lot of times we see that a lot when people get into university. It becomes a different ballgame from what they're trying. You'll be wondering, I'm a pastor, why is it maybe like this? But that was because they were told to do stuff,
Like-
but they were not
like a
given,
command.
they were not given the reason why. So when she was talking about conversations, a lot of times it's letting the kids know, this is why this is this. Now, that will mean you have to tell them the good and the bad.
Bad. Meaning that if you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this,
will happen. Let them see it. So that when they are making a choice, they will know that, yes, this is what it is.
that's so good. That's good parenting advice, guys. I need to say that. You hear? You want to say something?
Yeah. Still, again, I could go on and on about parenting. So this is what I would say: teach your children to be confident, not rude.
Teach your children
To be confident, not rude.
not rude.
Not rude.
Rude. Okay.
That's the extreme that we're saying. Like you're telling the child to stand up for themselves.
Self, and then they now become rude and.
For example, my daughter, you cannot you can't shorten her name. You know? And if she's meeting you for the first time, if you ask her name, she will tell you her full name. And if you shorten it, she will respectfully give you bombastic side eye.
And what's her full name?
Erifelua.
Erifelua.
You know. And she can accept Erife because that's what we call her. No, not Eri. No.
Not if
And if I will ask you, what is the meaning of Eri? And you tell me my name is evidence. Evidence of what? And that's because she knows the meaning of her name.
Wow.
So if you call her Eri, she said evidence. She would, if it's her friend, she said evidence of both now. You know. But of course, the first time I saw her do bombastic side to an elderly person, and I called her. I said, this is what happens, because it's European name, people do this, and it's long. And she said, but I told them my name. But of course now she just yes ma'am, and then she will say, thank you ma'am, or thank you sir, Erifelua. So this is where I'm going. The African culture, the black culture is for a child to be seen, not heard. And that's very painful. And it was such a negative thing for me.
Okay.
Because God rest their soul and I respect them. Yeah. So when I was raped at 6 and I told my parents, the first one was a slap. They didn't believe. Eventually when it was confirmed, there was no one coming to me to tell me. However, somebody mistakenly hit my daughter on her bum. It's just that and then she went to the school principal to say, I beat someone and this is what the person did. Yeah. So parenting is challenging, especially in this era where there's information overload. There's information overload. So parents, it's a challenge to keep up.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to keep up, but remember that Yoruba adage that says, "Omodebo agagbo," I will say it in English. When people transliterate it, people tend to say, "Is what we used to build a faith." No, the wisdom of the old and the wisdom of the young was the oracle that was used to set up a living.
Wow.
So why do we then shut children up? Why do we keep them quiet? If even in our language we have an adage that says they are wise.
They are wise.
I have a friend who says that, I don't know whether he's a friend, but he says that you as a person, you're supposed to be the updated version of your ancestor.
Let me see, I don't want to go because I know that this parenting thing, it's a ministry for you. So I'm gonna round this up not very soon. But there's one issue I want us to touch on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mentioned it earlier.
What's the issue?
I know that you were living with.
Yeah. I'm living with bipolar affective disorder, bipolar 2 to be
Okay, what is that?
It's a mood disorder.
Okay.
It's a mood disorder, and it's a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed to be bipolar 2. Yes, I'm blessed to be bipolar 2 because the manic, that's the elevated emotions, the elevated mood, that supposedly happy mood, I channel to work to, and then to exercising to. I could when I've not slept for like 2-3 days and I'm running 7 km, I'm running 10 km. Guy knows that I'm I'm manic.
So how does that affect your marriage or you as a person? Like, okay. So first, how does that affect you as a person?
Before I knew what was wrong or right with me, as a person, I just knew that there's too much of things going on in my head. So I wrote a lot.
Okay.
I wrote a lot, and I started radio at the age of 18. Yeah, 17 was when I, but 18, I was with MITV and so I was writing a lot as a production assistant. I didn't like TV. It's only that I make decisions. I didn't like TV. I still like visuals. And then radio, my shifts, conducting.
Yeah.
So my energy was there. And then I got home and I'm flaccid. I'm not talking. Sorry. I'm not talking. He's wondering what he's done. Sometimes I wonder. I wonder sometimes, like, this guy's coming back from work and he's like, hey, what version am I going to meet at home? But for some reason, I believe he was equipped to manage it. So personally, it was not so bad because I was doing things and I was presenting. I had work to do and all that. The only time that it bothered me was because as bipolar 2, I lived more on the depressive spectrum, and that fed my creativity. So because the depressive spectrum fed my creativity, I craved
to be depressed.
I craved the dark moment, and they were dark. I've attempted 4 times. So attempted. I don't. So we don't use the big S word.
Okay.
So that because we don't know who is this, that we don't trigger. I've attempted 4 times, but personally, I'm not sure it affected me so much.
What? After attempting 4 times?
Yeah. When I say, because I look at the gifts that he gave me, the gift of writing, the gift of being a creative. So I choose to stand by that, and it did affect my relationship with I did, but let him speak about it.
Yeah, because I'm I'm eager. How did you manage that?
So for me, truthfully, there were a lot of times that it was, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
What's the crazy human being I married?
Did you try to run away at any point?
Because of my words, I knew there was no, it was us, right? We just have to deal with it. But I knew, like I said earlier on, I needed to learn. I needed to understand what was all about. I'm an overthinker, so I kind of took the whole thing hearing, or tried to justify, okay, this is why whatever happened before, or this is why she's been acting like this. Oh, okay, so what are those things? And the good thing was, when she was diagnosed, right, we sought help, and I tried.
What that helped?
Yeah, she did, but
You didn't want to get help.
because,
Yeah.
but for me was you can always get a better version of her if she gets the help she needs. So it was more of we're in it together.
Okay.
So you're not alone.
Okay.
So we went for most of our stops. Even the first one we went together, and we've been involved, except when they say, "Guy, you stay out. Let's deal with her." So yeah, we've been on it, and then Tunmise was also asked questions.
Yeah.
And one of the things I also try to do with her is, okay, I'm not going to say because I knew you yesterday. This morning is going to be the same. So ask questions. I do ask questions. There are times she doesn't want to answer the questions. But I've come to realize that sometimes when she doesn't answer the questions, because she's also processing what she's going through.
Yeah.
So you have to give her time. Like she said earlier, I like talking. Look, let's see whatever we have to say and move on. But then, I've had to rely on sending chats, sending emails, right? For me, I send you a chat, I don't get a feedback immediately. I begin to think, okay, what's up? But for her, I found out you send her a chat. She takes the chat, she processes it, thinks about it. Because she's also a words person, she has to be careful what she says back. So she has to put it in the right way, right? I prefer to say it so that I read your emotions, I read your body language, I know I'm merging your words and your posture together, and that's what gives me some clarity. But we've had to balance it. So for me, it was more of understand what it's all about. Research. I won't lie. Research what the worst case scenario could be. And then try and make sure you never get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's being involved. So I try as much as possible to be involved with what it is. And then make sure she gets all the support she needs, right? Give her
like not telling me I'm fat, even when I'm asking him I'm fat. It's why you fat.
That caused the fight, but
that caused the fight. And I'll tell you why. I'm a fitness buff.
Yeah.
I'm a fitness buff. And then I start taking medication and I'm hitting 130. I'm hitting 139. So it just took the depressive episode, and then my mother dies. The weight just kept ballooning. The drugs make me extremely lethargic. I couldn't work out, and I was not eating, so everything was just messed up. So that made it worse. Like it really, really made it worse. So I had work, school runs home. I stopped going to church. I stopped going to any event. Like there's nothing. So my introvertedness just skyrocketed and all of that. Then in October of 2019, when Diane and I traveled, we were traveling, and then I couldn't buckle that messed up my head. The whole of that trip, I was just walking about, and
why couldn't you buckle
because I was fat. I was 139 kg. I couldn't. Oh, it was horrible. So I take pictures a lot. I think I have only 2 pictures from 2019. Yeah, it was even the trip there, and it was Dubai. My friend kept taking. I told her, no, please don't take pictures. I got back, went cold turkey. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell my doctors. I didn't tell anybody. I just stopped taking medication, and I started working out. And in 6 months, everything was gone. I was in
the weight.
Yeah, and then the relapse was crazy. Yeah, I would advise anyone to go cold turkey. Please don't do it. My mental resilience is, like my therapist was saying, your coping mechanism is top notch. But please don't do it. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. There's Lara there. I'm there. Seek help. And of course, that's why it's one of the reasons I became a coach or a therapist. because I know how expensive it is to treat, and my team, it was a team, because we had to, and that's why I fought the help, because we had to, when I relapsed the last time, I sent out notes on August 27, 2020. I sent out a suicide note, and to everyone, my brothers, him, and I started throwing myself at the wall. But because again, I'm a process oriented person, my personality and all that, so I just curled to the bed and I was going this way. Immediately, he forgot so loved the world. He was not sleeping. Immediately, he saw the note. He came to the room, held me, and started praying, and got a friend. And so we got a team together. So I had a psychotherapist, I had a psychiatrist, I had a psychologist. Three of them working to get me, because again I'm extremely cerebral. They needed to get me to treat me from that
perspective.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Moji, Kenneth, Danny, and Oluchi. And they're my friends now. And so get help, and so I know that I'm protecting my mental health is a cliche now. But before you respond to that person, you don't know their why.
Yeah. You don't know what they're going
You don't know their why. Just take it, do not take anything personally. Quite literally, whatever anybody does to you is not because of you, it's because of God. The question is with them. It's never about you. Never, ever about you. And we're here.
And finally, guys, because this is a lot for me.
Sorry.
Me myself, I'm inside therapy. So I'm going to ask you one last advice that you're going to give.
Advice here?
Yes,
At
a
all.
couple that are on the brink of breakup. You understand? Why? Why me? Is the counselor or what?
No, I am.
So, why? What would you tell a couple? The reason why I'm asking you is look at all you guys have been through, and you guys are solid than ever.
We are trying.
You are trying, and we thank the Lord. You are trying to be solid than ever. So what would you tell anybody? Because people have gone through less of this, and they're like, what would you tell?
For me, and I think I always say this, there's the person and there's the event.
There's the person and there's the event.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
what does that mean?
You like inside. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Things happen, right? We're all humans, right? We're all humans in different shades. We all talk about where you're coming from, your exposures, your experiences. So we're all human. That's the person, right? So based on all that, anything can happen, which is the event. Now, when you're dealing with someone, right, a lot of times you're dealing with the person, not that event. The event is time-based. It will come and it will go, right? Are there things that might come out of that event? Yes. But if you focus on the person and you guys are able to have that conversation, right? Okay, what's the event that happened? Why did it happen? Right? How can we move from that event? Right? Do we still have something to work with? If you guys can settle all that, then you're back to the person. But it is when you lose the event and you lose the person that then becomes a problem.
And there's nothing else to hold on to.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming on the show. Okay, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Understand your marriage story, your relational story. What story are you carrying? So you see, a lot of us have warped stories about relationships and marriages. All men are the same. All women are the same. All men cheat. All men are supposed to be polygamous. It's a lie. Women are polyamorous and polyandrous. That's the truth. All right. Serious. So, what story are you carrying? I remember when I was going to get married, my mom, she came to me and she was like, hey, and I said, Mommy, I said, my baby. And I said to her, your duty in my life is to be there if I make a mistake. I want to enter my marriage with a clean mind. Let us not make mistakes. Let me make my mistakes and then we can work. And she was like, man, that's the truth, you know. And because she would, whenever I fought her, she said, Sushi, this was my choice. You can't do it. This is my choice too. So sit down with that story. How your mother treated your father. Your father is not your mother. Your mother is not your father. You understand? How your father treated your mother does not mean that all men are that way. How your mother responded to your father does not mean. So tell yourself, sit down with your story of origin and look at a story you want to tell of yourself by yourself, the story you want to live for your children. Are you ready to work for that story though? That is the question.
Wow. Head blown, mind blown, everything blown. Thank you so much. Sorry. You know, we've been talking about stories a lot, you know, rewriting stories. So because of that, we have a game to play. Yeah, for both of you. And we're going to be asking you questions, just a little thing to just spice up anything. And I'm so happy because, you know, I like both of you. You people are not, you know, some people are very competitive. Some people are like, camera, we cannot mess up. But I know that you guys are not pressured by it.
This one I this one is competitive. This one is competitive.
Okay, so question 1. Who said I love you first? Okay, let's see your own answer. I love you, man. Okay, so question 2. At what time did you have a refill? Day and time. Your first child.
I can't remember the time. It's okay.
Okay, let's see your own. Yes, I said time and the date.
Oh, days.
I know you know the date. I was more concerned about the time. Is it after 9?
I remember I got an award.
For what?
Okay, so the day my daughter was born, funny enough, there were 3 deliveries before that day, before ours, and all the guys never stayed inside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when she was going in, the matron just told me, "Oga, since based on experience, everybody is staying." Oga, I said, "No, I'm going to be inside." So as soon as they finished, I made sure she was okay, and I followed the baby.
Left me and carried his daughter.
Followed the baby.
Followed the baby to go and find out. So,
yeah.
Wow. Okay,
so that's why I know
it's
it's after 9 p.m.
It was 11:40 p.m. So what time did you have JB?
JB was shaggy.
Sorry.
That was.
Write big so that we can see.
His writing is small.
Okay.
Evening
after 4 p.m. I should have known. So what's your own time?
It's 4:05, April 8th, 2011.
Oh, okay. So you are still right. And then one final question for both of you. Where was your first vacation?
Oh.
Write it big, let us. Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah. This couple is like the love is really.
It was my 30th birthday. It was a surprise.
Oh.
He told me I was going to Ghana. And we
And-
got to the airport and we were in Emirates.
Oh wow. So he's a romantic man.
Yes.
So finally now I want both of you to look at yourselves. What would you like to tell Oluwatomishi? How do you call your name? There's something we used to say it on. And what would you like to tell Oluwabun?
There's something we've never agreed on.
Okay.
I say Oluwafi Bunmi Sumishi.
Hey.
You say Sumishi.
Oluwafi
Sumishi.
Bunmi.
Yeah.
And that's so deep in Yoruba.
Yes.
Oluwafi Bunmi Tumishe. May God use Bunmi to repair me. And then Oluwafi Tumishe Bunmi. God used Tumishe to gift me. Oh God. It is well. Okay, so talk to each other. Like, what would you like to tell her that probably you've not said in a long time? And what would you like to tell him finally?
What story?
Let you know that. When you're
Oh, for
Say it, not to me.
thank you for saying truth to your lips.
Thank you. Don't cry, you people, don't cry. I promise not to cry. So thank you so much for you both coming here. You guys have bared your minds and you have said so many things to us in this place today. I pray that your marriage continue to be happy. I pray that you guys remain best friends forever. I pray that you will grow to see your children's children. And then you'll be a blessing to so many marriages. So thank you so much for coming. Guys, Bunmi Kuku, Tunmise Oladapo Kuku have been phenomenal. And I cannot tell you, they want me, oh God, their story is so sweet, it's so beautiful, it's so real, it's so inside, deep, you understand, it's inside the stomach. You understand that when you go today, as I'm going like this, I'm going to rethink my life about the words I say and about how I am actually, fulfilling my words. That's one of the things that I've gotten from this. So guys, until you come your way again, I still remain the same. Lara, guys, don't know. With another love story. See you soon. Bye for now.